Hi, I'm Mary, and it is my privilege and my honor to share our visit with Marilyn and Tohmas Twintreess with you. Uh, we we know that there are a lot of you who wanted to join us this weekend, and so Marilyn and Thomas have agreed to tape something to share with you guys. And so here are the Twintreess.
Thank you.
You should be here right now. Come on. There's peacocks
Come on.
here. There's koi here. Where are you?
Come on.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Mary.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks,
both of you.
Mary and
There's
Jen.
another one of standing behind the camera.
Jen's behind the camera.
Hi, you can hear my voice.
Yeah. We very much appreciate Mary and Jen helping us to come and do things here in Naples, and it's an honor to be around them, and you guys know that already, and therefore we are really pleased to meet all of you. Thanks.
So we're here to talk for a second about listening to
We
stones.
are ad-libbing.
In case you can't tell, we're partially human.
I'll behave. Yeah. Our practice has always been since we've been together is that our bodies and our beings come together in a way that allow us to immediately listen to the stories and the spirits of all the life around us and within us as well.
So it's a conscious choice. So for us, listening to stones is something we gave our life to. And then there was nothing left for that listening to expand. And because we didn't choose any I can't in there, or any I shoulds, or any I have to's, or just open our hearts to the stone beings. And we also added a little piece in there that we invited them to communicate in English as much as possible, so that we had a reference point to root and ground that information.
We did ask them.
Because really one of our gifts and one of the space that we hold is our willingness to present the words of the stone kingdom and the elementals as they choose to speak them, not as we filter them. So within that, it was important that our agreed upon reality there was at least English as far as the books go and the stories from the stones go, so that it was we became a bridge for them as they chose. That's what's most important to us. Because ultimately they're the ones that are most closely linked to union and most closely linked to love, and their aspect of that is going to be defined and acted upon differently than ours. So we're the ones that get the most back from that. So.
We're really blessed that we're not highly educated. Truly, that is, I know it sounds like a joke, but truly that is one of our great gifts. And before the Stones came to us and said, we'd like to write a reference book with you, Thomas and I, who've always loved stones, and walk around the earth like this. That thing. Listening to and picking up stones. We had never really read stone books. And I was surprised by that when I realized that until we were finishing up Stones Alive 3, they said, oh yeah, you needed to have that blank slate.
Yeah, we've never done any research. We've just gone right to the heart of the stones and asked them what their version of life is and put it down on paper. And the proof is in that pudding, isn't it? I mean, if a stone or a combination of stones comes in and says this is how we can support a human animal for healing, and then we're silly enough to write that down in a book and spread it around the world, then we're either going to get back a whole bunch of comments that say you guys are nuts, or I'm dying over here, or we're just going to get back phone calls and emails from around the world that says, this worked really well for me. And that's all that's happened to us for decades. So, we're all sitting on the Earth Mother now in a very, very, very special time where we just need to trust in our own heart and our own communication with all these other kingdoms, not just the mineral kingdom, but also the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom, because they're already in union. They already know what they're doing. We just need to get out of our own way a little bit and join them. So a few of the things that we invite people to try to use as a tool to practice communicating, for instance, with the mineral kingdom or stone beings, is beyond breathing and getting in the body, which is always useful. It's to see if you can shift your receptive capabilities to listening in more of the form that the stones speak, rather than trying to force them, rather than being like American tourists going to another country and forcing somebody to speak your language. I mean, come on, the vibration is slowed down a little bit. Their intent is they're holding a different space, and we have to slow ourselves down, and we have to prioritize those communications. And once we hold that intent that way, it's amazing the worlds that can open up with that.
Oh, sure. Because each kingdom on the planet holds a different, perfect and different part of wisdom. And if we don't listen to that, we're missing just millions and millions of stories and experiences that are just there waiting for us in everything we do and everything that we be.
Yeah, and if you think you can't hear a stone story, that's exactly right. You're thinking. And thinking is not the process that the stones use to communicate. They use more of a telepathic water element, just a transference of energy, and we recognize that in our open hearts. There's no way we can understand that, and that's, I would say, is the biggest challenge for most people. Anybody that's watching this right now, you can't convince me that you don't hear the stones communicating. You can easily convince me that you don't believe you heard it once you heard it, and whether you act on what you heard or not that's really clear, right? So yeah. These are innate capabilities we have within our own heart. It's, really the difference is, how do we prioritize and organize our lives, right? Like for us, listening to all forms of life is our highest priority, because then we're just in order to be in that listening place cyclically daily, means we have to keep our hearts open, free, on and on and on again. So actually what we're hearing is ourselves communicating with other beings more than we're hearing them communicate with us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Once we take that responsibility back on ourselves and get a little bit out of that thinking mode, there's a lot of worlds open up.